Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Very good afternoon to all. Sorry, very good morning to all. Uh, Let me introduce myself first, and then we'll come to the point. Okay, so myself, Professor Anil Tekale. I am from the Department of Electrical Engineering. Currently, I'm dealing with the subject like ET, electrical technology. So whatever the electrical section is there, that I am dealing. So this is the small introduction about me. Second thing that will go for the syllabus structure or whatever the teaching scheme is there. So as per this, we have only practical examination for that. That is the POE of 25 marks, and there is an internal continuous assessment of 25 marks. So overall 50 marks are there for this subject. There will be no any written examination for the subject. Okay. So the only practicals will be there. So you have to focus on only practicals. So that practicals we are dealing. So there are around there are many practicals. So before going for the practicals, some prerequisite you should understood, and you have the basic knowledge of about all these concepts. So first concept is the electromagnetism, then second fundamentals of electricity, then circuits. So what is that things? So that things we have to understand. So before going for the all, we'll complete these small basic concepts, and after that we'll move towards the uh, main part of our practicals. So uh, anyone can tell me what is the electrical energy? Anybody is there who can answer? What is the electricity? What is that electricity? What does it mean? Everybody having electricity at their home. So what does it mean exactly? No? Okay, fine. So anyone want to answer? Okay, fine. So the electricity means what? I'll just tell you. Suppose everybody know the magnet. Okay, everyone knows the magnet. So suppose this is the magnet. Okay, and this magnets we kept here. So this magnet having magnetism at its surface. Okay, this is the surface of magnet, and this magnet having a magnetism at its surface. So now what I'll do, I'll just take one piece of iron and will place here. So whenever this iron piece I'll take to the closer to this magnet, that time what happened, this magnet will try to attract this iron piece toward itself. So it will drag that piece to the itself. So whenever it is completely close to the magnet, at that time this iron piece will get magnetized also. It will get magnetized also. So that is nothing but what? That is electromagnetism. That is the magnetism. But the difference is only that here is a magnet, but another case we are considering only conductor. That conductor having the electricity, we are giving the supply, some amount of current is flowing through these, and this current flowing through this conductor will create the magnetism around the surface of this conductor. And once I'll keep another one conductor in contact with this conductor, then this conductor will also get the magnetized. That is means of electromagnetism. Now second thing I would like to explain how electricity will generate. हे electricity कशी generate होते? Okay, so let me tell you. Okay, suppose there is a one stator. We say this is the stator. Okay, we in electrical language we say this is the stator. Stator means where all windings are placed and the electrical supply is given to this winding. Then there is a rotating magnetic field. Now what happens when we will give the supply to this, or we can say there is a magnet. Okay, there is a one magnet, there is another magnet, there is third magnet, and there is fourth magnet. So in electrical language this is known as a poles. This is known as a pole. So these are the four poles and these are connected like that way. Okay, so these are connected like that way. So now what happens due to these poles, these are totally magnetized and this pole will generate its a magnetic field and this magnetic field will be here. That magnetic field is here. Okay, so this magnetic field is available in the stator only. Now this is the stationary, this is not moving anymore. Okay, so now what we will do, we will take one rotating conductor. Rotating conductors means a shaft, you can understand. This is our shaft, okay, and this shaft is rotating like this direction, clockwise direction. So what we will do, we will take that shaft into this uh, stator. So what happens, this rotating shaft will cut the magnetic fluxes. What it will does, it will cut the magnetic fluxes. So when it will cut the magnetic fluxes, at that time what happens, these fluxes are like that way. Okay, these fluxes are like that way. And suppose our conductor is cutting that fluxes, that means EMF is generating inside this conductor. EMF is generating inside this shaft, or we can say that conductor. So that EMF, whatever generating, that is nothing but our voltage, that is nothing but our electricity. And the generated voltage will force to the flow of electrons, that means flow of current. That will force to flow of electrons, or we can say the flow of current. Okay, so this is the simple phenomenon about the how this induction how this electricity generate, how this generator works. हे कशा पद्धतीने होतं हे आपण just we had taken the little overview. Okay, so now the second thing we have to understand that how the current will flow, how the voltages appear across the conductors. Now suppose I'll give you one example. So you have to just correlate two things. Okay. So first thing I'll tell you that here is a one water tank. Okay. Here is a one water tank. It is filled by water. Okay. And if in case you might not able to hear my voice, or if there is technical problem, please let me know. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So like that way, just within 10 5 minutes, just give me a confirmation in between. Okay, so we can continue. Here we will consider one A tank of water which is filled by the water, and another one tank I'll consider here only, and this is the B tank. Okay, this is the empty tank, or we can say it having little bit amount of water. Now I'll just connect one pipe to this. Okay, I'll connect one pipe to this. Now one thing you can observe, that this tank is at a top level, top position, and this one having at a bottom level. Now anyone just tell me, from which tank to which tank water will flow?
To bottom.
From A to B, right? So water will flow from A point to the B point. Is that clear? Is that clear? Now just tell me the reason behind that, reason behind the water flow of A tank to the B tank. What will be the reason? Yes, just we can just discuss, because we don't have any theory examination. Okay, so we will just discuss. बोला. याच्यामध्ये one thing I would like to remind you, that there is no correct and there is no wrong answer. Okay, no one will going to punish you. Okay, you just discuss with me, you just clear your doubts about the electricity, whatever the electricity is generating. You are a being mechanical engineer, so it is not necessary that you should have knowledge about electricity, but just as an engineer you should have knowledge of all branches. Okay, so you can ask, or we can discuss. So just tell me, the water, as per you, as you said, that water will flow from the A point to the B point. So why? What is the reason? Why not this B point to A point?
High
Is
pressure
it due to
कडनं
the
low pressure
Gravitational force.
okay gravitational force? Anybody else?
हाय प्रेशर कडनं लो प्रेशर कडे पाठवलं सर.
Very
ए
good,
मध्ये
very
प्रेशर
good.
जास्त.
Yes, very good. So we are not going to the that much technical thing like the gravitational force. We don't know anything. Okay, we just only know that one tank is kept at the top side, one kept at bottom. That means water will flow from high pressure to the low pressure. So I'll mark here, that is high pressure. Okay, and that is my low pressure. So always water choose a path to flow from high pressure to the low pressure, right? Now, so you just keep in mind, because I am going to elaborate you electricity how it flows. Okay, so better you just consider understand that water terminology. Once you will understand that one, you will be easily understand how electricity flows. Okay, now second question. If suppose I'll just place some amount of some little pieces of the stone inside this pipe. Okay, I'll just place some amount some little stone pieces into this pipe. Then what will happen? What will happen about the speed of flow of water? Will it increase or will it decrease?
Decrease.
It will decrease. Why? What is the reason? Because
Resistance, sir.
yes, there is a disturbance, there is a hurdles in between the pipes. That is why it will reduce. Okay, now second thing we can observe here, if we will put the stone pieces here, then what will happen? Maybe sometimes their water may get stuck and it can breach here, or it can lost the water, it can break the pipe, right? Due to the pressure, that pipe can be broken, and due to that your water will flow outside. That means your water will lost. Is it possible or not? It is possible, right? Due to the stone pieces which we had kept in the pipe in middle, due to that the more force will be appears on the pipe, and due to that pipe may get damaged, and due to that water should get flow outside the pipe, so that means it can lose. Okay, so one thing we understood, that in the flowing water, the first time if there were no any resistance, at that time water flow was very good, but once we had placed some stone pieces, then water speed get reduced, right? Now we'll come to the another point. Here again I'll take a point. Here I'll take a B point. Okay. Now this A point having a voltage of 300 volt, and this B point having a voltage of 100 volt. Now what we had understood in the water terminology, in water terminology, we had understood that the water always flow from high pressure to low pressure. Similarly, correlative, we can say the current is always flow from the high voltage to the low voltage. So means that A point to B point, your current will flow. Okay. So this is the one concept. So 300 volt is more than 100 volt. So we can say this is a high voltage point. This is the low voltage point. Okay. So this is the first case. Now second case. If suppose at the starting, if there is a zero resistance, at that time I suppose the my current is around 10 ampere. But what I'll do, I'll just insert some resistance into the circuit. So what happened? As we had seen that pipe having a stone pieces, that time the water speed is get reduced. So similarly your current will also reduce. So suppose I increase the resistance, my current will get decrease, right? Now if there is a resistance, at that time my voltage try to force the current, my voltage try to force the current, but at that time my conductor may get breakdown, and due to that there may be electrical losses, there may be electrical losses, that may be in terms of heat, that may be in terms of heat. So what is the formula for heat? I think you have you learned this formula, I square RT, right? That is the formula for heat, right? So in form of this, in case of that kind of resistance insertion, your electrical circuit may got losses, right? Yeah, now is there any doubt in electrical concept? Is there any doubt? Have you understood easily? Just reply my questions, because it will be uh, no value discussion if I am only talking and you guys are just watching that one. Hmm? Yes, you should involve this, because you have POE examination, and that POE examination will be very important. So that POE examination will be beneficial for you if you just participate in this discussion, because the questions for the POE will be from this all the discussion. Tell me, Any problem, any doubt? Have you understood the water terminology concept as well as the electrical circuit concept? How current flows from which point to which point? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
okay. Okay, thank you. Now one more thing. Now we will go for the one electrical law. That law is nothing but Ohm's law. Now just tell me what happens if our resistance is increasing at that time, what happens about current? Current is decreasing. So how we can write that? We can write I is inversely proportional to the right. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Now, second question, if suppose we will increase the pressure at the high point, at that time, what will be about the speed of water? Will it increase or decrease if pressure is increased?
Increase.
It will increase.
Increase.
It will increase. Very good. That means our pressure is directly proportional to the speed of water. So similarly, if I will increase the voltage, then what will happen about current? Will it increase, right? So that means voltage is directly proportional to the I. Now voltage is directly proportional to the I, but I is inversely proportional to the R. So we can write these two equations in single manner, and that will be I is equal to V by R, and one will put constant, and that we will ignore. So we got the equation I is equal to V upon R. Are you agree with me? Are you agree or not? I is equal to V by R. Okay, that means we can write this equation in simple manner, that is V is equal to I into R. V is equal to I into R, and that is known as a Ohm's law. That is known as a Ohm's law. What Ohm states? Ohm states that when there is a constant temperature, and at that time if we increase the potential difference or the voltage, then our current will start to rise. If we increase the resistance, then our current will start to decrease. So that is the simple Ohm's law. So that is all what we had done, what we had understood. That is all the prerequisite of the our course. Okay. Now anybody, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now we will move towards the what is the course object. So about the course objective, we will understand that whatever the electrical concepts, that is the about the application of electrical motors in mechanical engineering. Now everyone having a question in mind, as you are belongs to mechanical field, sir, what is the use of understanding of that electrical concepts? So it is not a rare thing that you should have that question. So let me explain why this electrical knowledge you should have being a mechanical engineer. So once you will complete your graduation and will go for these industries, that time you have to work in an industry where there is a machineries. So in case of the shifting, in case of the conveyor belt, in case of the lifting, in case of the pressuring, so at that all places the electrical motors you can see. So if suppose you are a purchase engineer, now if suppose your CEO, your director told you that you should have to purchase the electrical motors for the this application, so now how you can find out? So for that purpose you should have understood the performance of electrical motors, how that motor can be controlled, which motor can be used for the which application. That means if suppose you are looking for the motor for the crane, so which motor you should prefer. So that all knowledge you should have, and that all knowledge you will get from this subject. Okay, so the objective from the electrical section, that is you have to understand the concepts and applications of electrical motors with in mechanical engineering. Then what will be the course outcomes? So end of the course you will understand that how to find the suitable DC motor, induction motor, what are the various speed control methods, as well as why the starters can be used, and all that things will be the course outcome for this syllabus. So now we'll come to the point. Here is our section first that we are going to deal. So there is total 8 experiments. So out of that 8 experiments, we are going to understand the first one, that is the flux control. This is not there. Okay. Then second one, that is the armature voltage control method. Third one, that is the study of starters used in DC shunt motors. Fourth one, that is load test on DC motor. Fifth one, that is load test on three-phase induction motor. And seventh, that is the study of starters used in a three-phase induction motor. So that 6 practicals we are going to perform. That 6 number and that 8 number we can skip. Okay, because as per the syllabus, 6 practicals we need to conduct. Okay, so now as today we are moving towards the practical number 3 and the practical number 7 only, so that is the study practicals. Okay, so going for the study practicals, we will just discuss about the shunt motor and the induction motor first. Okay, so for so right now, before going for the DC shunt motor, we will discuss about DC shunt motor and then we'll go for the starters. Okay, so now what is the word that DC? That DC stands for the direct current. That is for the direct current. Okay, that means there is a two current. So first upon, that is the direct current, and another one is that is the alternating current. Means that direct current is always flow in a one section, one quadrant, whereas this alternating current, or we can say AC current, this is the DC current. So where AC will flow into the both directions, or we can say both quadrant. So as particularly in our household application, AC is preferred, but due to the less losses, that DC motors are preferred in industries also, and due to the it's a smooth speed control. Okay, so let us understand the now we will understand about the our DC motor. So first thing, as I told you, the working principle of alternator, as I had shown you that the how electricity generate. Now here I will show you one concept. Okay, that concept is, if suppose there are two parts, okay, in DC motor, one is a stator, one is a rotor. Stator is nothing but what? One is a stator, and another one is a rotor. So what is that stator and rotor means? Stator means a stationary part, okay, and the rotor means a rotationary part. So sometimes the stator is known as a armature. This is known as a armature, and this rotor part is known as a field. It is known as a field winding. Why? Because on the rotor, field winding is mounted. On the stationary stator, armature winding is mounted. So here, as I told you, here is 1, 2, 3. Okay, they're like a magnets, and there is a winding. So this winding is nothing but what? It is a stator winding, or we can say armature winding. Okay, now what we will do, we will give the supply to it, we will give the supply to it, or we can say this is having a stage rotating magnetic field. It is having a rotating magnetic field. So once we will give the supply, that time what happened? That time there is a magnetism. It will create a magnetism, and that magnetism will start to rotate. That magnetism will start to rotate. Okay, so now तुमच्या डोक्यामध्ये एक गोष्ट ठेवायची काय, की माझी ही मोटर आहे, या मोटरला मी सप्लाय दिलेला आहे, आणि आता या मोटरमध्ये काय होत आहे, एक मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड ही रोटेट होत आहे. ठीक आहे. आता दुसरा कॉन्सेप्ट, इथेच असतो आपला एक रोटर. ओके, इथे असतो आपला एक रोटर. आता या रोटरला काय केलेलं असतं, आपण सेपरेटली सप्लाय दिलेलं असतो. याला काय केलेलं असतं, सेपरेटली सप्लाय दिलेलं असतं. सो ड्यू टू दॅट युअर रोटर विल ऑल्सो हॅव्हिंग अ मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड. Your rotor having also little bit magnetic field. Okay, but once we will insert that conductor inside this stator, at that time what happened? Due to this rotating magnetic field which is available in stator, that will force to rotate the rotor. That will force rotor to rotate, and then you can see your rotor will experiences force. That will experiences force, and it will start to rotate. So now what will be the statement? So let me explain you that statement. You can write it down also. The statement is, in Viva, it can be asked to you, what is the statement? Okay. Thus this statement is a Faraday's electromagnetic induction law. Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Okay, so now let me tell you. Fine. So whenever a current carrying conductor, you can write it down. Okay, so whenever current carrying conductor placed in a rotating magnetic field, you are getting my point. Whenever a current carrying conductor placed in a rotating magnetic field, it experiences force. It experiences force. So that is the simple fundamental of the DC motor. That is the working principle of the induction DC motor. So on which principle DC motor works? The DC motor works on a principle of electromagnetic induction. So that is when a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, it experiences force. That is the simple fundamental about. So now whenever it is a experiences force, that force is nothing but what? That force is nothing but, we can write it down, F is equal to B into I into L. So that B stands for the flux density, whatever available inside the stator. I stands for the current, whichever insert we are applied to the conductor, and L is nothing but the length of conductor. Okay, so that is the force which will experience. So from that we have one equation, and that will be the total voltage V is equal to. So let me tell you one diagram. So here I am applying one voltage. Okay, so here is my field winding. Okay, DC shunt motor we are discussing. So this is the field winding. Okay, and this is my armature winding. Okay, these are the two windings. So here I will write field, here I will write A. Okay, so whenever I'll doing that, there is a one resistance that is known as RA. Here is no resistance, current flowing IA. Okay, and there is a voltage I am applying, voltage V. Okay, and the whenever my conductor starts to rotate, at that time what it will do is, it can cut the fluxes here also. So due to that, there is some amount of EMF which generates, that is also known as Aman. Hello. Okay, fine. So where we were? Huh. So whenever now the concept I'll just explain in a little Marathi. So जेव्हा आपण सप्लाय देतो या स्टेटर मध्ये एक रोटेटिंग फील्ड तयार होते, आणि ह्या रोटेटिंग फील्डला जेव्हा तयार होते तेव्हा आपण काय करतो की करंट कॅरिंग कंडक्टर आपण या फील्ड मध्ये प्लेस करतो, आणि त्यावेळेस तो कंडक्टर फोर्स एक्सपिरियन्स करतो. हा झाला आपला मोटरचं वर्किंग. बट मगाशी जसं मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं जनरेटरच्या बाबतीत इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट कशी होते, तर एक रोटेटिंग कंडक्टर मी इथे असा घेऊन गेलो तर इथल्या फील्डला तो काय करतो, कट करतो, आणि त्याच्यामध्ये EMF होतं. पण जेव्हा आपला हा कंडक्टर रोटेट व्हायला लागणार आहे, हा जेव्हा कंडक्टर रोटेट होईल तेव्हा काय होईल, तो इथल्या फील्डला काय करेल, कट करेल, म्हणजे त्याच्यामध्ये थोडंसं EMF तयार होणार आहे, त्याला म्हटलं जातं back EMF. Okay, so we can write the equation for the voltage, that is the EB minus IARA. It is AB minus IARA. Sorry, it is AB plus IARA. Okay, so that is the equation for the your DC motor. So let me rough all the things, and just I'll keep equation in front of you. That equation is V is equal to EB plus IARA. Okay, now the second thing, if suppose I'll consider that EB is very less, or I can just find the value for IA. So from that equation, if I want to find the value for IA, so IA will become V minus EB divided by RA. This RA stands for the armature resistance. Okay, so don't misunderstand. So here, if we will consider that our EB is a negligible value, that will be the zero we will consider. So main equation again remain itself. IA is equal to V divided by V by RA. Now, our applied voltage is always constant. जे voltage आपण apply करतोय तर ते voltage आपलं constant असतं. So that is why we cannot change the voltage. How we can change the armature current? Anybody can tell me how we can manage or how we can change the armature current? Apply voltage we cannot change, but we have to change the armature current. So how we can do?
Resistance change करून.
रेजिस्टन्स अप्लाय
Yes,
करू.
very good. Resistance change current. So what will happen if we increase the resistance? Our current will decrease. What will happen if we decrease the resistance? Our current will increase. Now, one more thing I would like to tell you that whenever that motors are starting, at that time, this okay. So that is the reason why we can increase the resistance or decrease the resistance. So now one more thing, when the DC motor is manufactured, at that time this resistance value is a fixed. So we cannot change that manufacturing value. लक्षात येतंय का? जेव्हा आपली डीसी मोटर बनवलेली असते तेव्हाच या आर्मेचर रेजिस्टन्सची म्हणजे आर्मेचर वाइंडिंगचा जो रेजिस्टन्स असतो तो कन्फर्म केलेला असतो, मग तो तर चेंज करता येत नाही. देन एनीबडी कॅन गिव्ह सोल्युशन ऑन दॅट. आपण मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग व्हॅल्यू तर चेंज करू शकत नाही, बट व्हॉट वी कॅन डू? Here we can add external resistance. What we can do? We can add an external resistance into series with this armature. Now if suppose resistances are in a series, then what is the equivalent resistance? Who will tell me? This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. These are the resistance value. So what will be the equivalent resistance? Who will tell me?
1 + 2 + 3 सर.
Very good. Why? Because in series we just add the resistance value. So 6 ohm will be our equivalent resistance. So in series we make addition of resistance. So here if I will add the external resistance in series with armature resistance, then what will happen? Then resistance will get added, and once my resistance will get added, then what will happen about the current? That will goes to reduce. Am I right? Fine. So then next thing, that is a starting current. So what happen whenever we start the motor, due to the excessive amount of fluxes which is generated, or we can say the rotating magnetic field available in a DC motor, due to that there is a much fluxes, and due to that there is a very high starting current. There is a very high starting current. Okay, so now you just keep in mind that how we can keep the equation. Okay, now we will see why the starters are necessary. Okay, so now as I told you, there is a maximum starting current. That is the maximum starting current in case of the DC motor. So if the maximum starting current we will apply to the motor, then what will happen? If suppose your ability to eat a 3 chapati, okay, and you have given 5 chapati, what will happen? That may be overloading to you. Okay, it may make you unhealthy. Okay, so that means in our system, if the ability of taking current is 5 ampere, but at the starting if 10 ampere current is flowing through that, what will happen about motor? The motor may get damage. The motor may get damage. Okay, so that is the reason why starters are necessary. Why? Because we have to limit that current. We have to limit that current. And how we are going to limit that current? By adjusting the value of RA, where we are inserting external resistance. right? So that is the reason why we prefer the starters in starting of DC motor. Now, what are the types of starters? So there are 2-point starter, 3-point starter, and 4-point starter. So there are different three types of starter: 2-point, 3-point, 4-point. But for the syllabus, we will just understand 3-point starter because this 2-point have. Okay, so the 3-point starter is most preferred starter. Why? Because it having less if less disadvantages as compared to 2-point. So that there is we will understand the basic working principle of the 3-point starter. So for first I will explain that in into English, and after that I'll go for the Marathi also, so okay you can understand. Okay, so first of all, there is a positive supply given. Now first thing, why it is known as a 3-point starter? Because it having three terminal, that is N, that is F, that is A. So N stands for the neutral, F stands for the field, and the A stands for the armature. Okay, so that is the basic reason why it is known as a 3-point starter. Now I'll tell you that how it works. Okay, so before going for the working, just I would like to tell you the some notation here used. So here you can see R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. All starters are connected in series to each other. The supply the supply is given to the L terminal line, that is given to this one coil. Okay, so this coil is here, so that coil is known as a overload coil. That coil is known as a overload coil. Then this supply is given to the spring. This is known as a spring. This is the spring. The circular round is there, that is spring. That is the rod. That is known as a rod. Okay, that is then that is known as a holding coil. That is known as a holding coil, or we can say NVC, no voltage coil. Okay, then this is known as resistances. This is known as a resistances. Okay, this is known as a resistances. This is the armature, field, and this is the resistance. Now we had cleared the notation. Now we will go for the understanding. So just see here, whenever we will apply the supply voltage, at that time it comes to the overload coil. If everything is okay, then this coil will allow the current to flow through this. Now this rod is now this, up to this our current is I coming. So now I can say, now here we will say this is connected. This is connected. Now see, this is connected means this is now like that way. This is connected. This coil is come to this point, and this will hold this one. Okay. Now at first point, if I connect it, then what? How my current will flow? This current will flow through this one resistance, this second, third, fourth, and fifth resistance, and this, from this direction it comes to the armature. From this level, the second current will flow through this way, okay, to this. And again here also current diversified, and that current will goes to the coil, and it comes to the okay, and this all three together currents will goes to the negative terminal. So like that way, here you can see R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. All resistances will get added. Am I right? सगळे रेजिस्टन्स सिरीज मध्ये आहेत का? Am I clear? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So all these resistances are connected in series, so that is why the total resistance will be maximum. So once as we know that IA is equal to V divided by RA plus R external, then this external resistance is the total value. So that is why total current will be less or is equal to 0, right? So that is why our motor will start smoothly. So once our motor starts smoothly and it starts to run, then what we will do? We will just push that rod to the second place. That means we will push our rod to this place. So due to that, what happens? Due to that, our this first resistance will get eliminated. That means our external resistance will get increase or decrease. Equivalent resistance, will it increase or will it decrease? Will it increases or decreases? Reply. If suppose I reduce the current, I had reduced the current, what will happen about the total equivalent circuit? कमी होईल ना तो. And due to that, if your resistance is decreasing, then slowly your current will increase. Then I'll take this to the third point. Okay. So if I'll take the third point, then these two resistance will be eliminated. Similarly, I will come to the another point. Then again, this will eliminate. I come to the this point. So this will eliminated, and lastly I come to this point. So all resistance will get eliminated, and at that time my motor will runs on normal condition. Okay, because at the starting I had reduced my current by using these resistances. So at the end, all my external resistance will become a zero, and that time my IA will be the maximum. Okay. So what will be the function of this coil? So this is nothing but what, when current is flowing through this coil. So if there is any kind of fault, then our current will get interrupted, and due to that, once our current will interrupted, so current flowing through this coil will stop, and due to that, this coil will become a demagnetized. So once this coil will be demagnetized, then this coil can leave the rod which it is handling or which it is attracting. Okay, so it can release the handle. Second thing, that overload coil, what will happen if suppose there is a extra current above the rated, above the determined value. So that current if flowing through this, then that time what happens, it will get magnetized, and due to magnetizing it will shift this to the upside. Once it will shift to this upside, then these two terminal will get shorted, and once these two terminal will get shorted, at that time what happens, at that time your current will be zero, and the no voltage coil will release the handle, and your whole system will get turned off. So now I'll take pleasure to explain in Marathi, so you people all will understand properly. ओके. आता इथं लक्षात घ्या, सुरुवातीला आपल्याला काय करायचं आहे की आपण इथे कसं सप्लाय देणार आहे. ओके, इथं माझं निगेटिव्ह टर्मिनल, इथं पॉझिटिव्ह टर्मिनल. आवाज येतोय माझा सगळ्यांना? एकदम मोठ्याने कन्फर्मेशन द्या. ओके. हा, तर आता इथं आपण काय करतोय, एक सप्लाय दिलेला आहे. सप्लाय दिल्यानंतर तो कसा फ्लो होतोय तो मी तुम्हाला इथं दाखवतोय. त्याच्यासाठी मी वेगळा कलर चूज करतोय, एक ब्लॅक कलरने दाखवेन, सॉरी ब्ल्यू कलरने दाखवूया. हा आपला इथून करंट असा फ्लो होणार आहे, या कॉइल मध्ये फ्लो होईल. ठीक आहे, या कॉइल मधून तो करंट काय होणार आहे, डायरेक्टली तुमच्या इकडे जाईल असा. ठीक आहे, याला इथली कॉइल दिसत नाहीये, तर इथून कॉइल मधून कुठे येईल, तो इथं येईल, या रॉडला येईल. आता हा रॉड जो आहे तो कसा असणार आहे, सुरुवातीला ऑफ पोझिशनला असणार आहे, पण हळूहळू आपण याला काय करणार आहे, एक नंबरच्या पोझिशनला घेऊन आलो. ठीक आहे, इथं एक असतं, इथं दोन असतं, 3, 4, 5 आणि 6. तर आता इथं काय असतं, ही जी प्लेट दिसते, तर ह्या प्लेट वरती असतं तुमचा हा जो कॉइल दिसते ना, इथली ही कॉइल, हे कॉइल असते तुमची या प्लेटला, तर ती या रॉड सोबत फिरत असते. तर ही काय करते, तर जेव्हा आपला करंट फ्लो होतो, तेव्हा हा करंट जो आहे, जेव्हा या पट्टीशी आपल्या रॉडचा कॉन्टॅक्ट येईल, तेव्हा या पट्टीच्या मधून हा करंट इकडे फ्लो होतो, आणि तो या कॉइल मध्ये येतो, आणि ही कॉइल काय होते, एनर्जाइज होते. एकदा का ही कॉइल एनर्जाइज झाली, ती काय करते, की आपल्या या हँडलला घट्ट पकडून ठेवते, आणि इथून असा हा लूप कम्प्लीट होतो न्यूट्रलचा. सेकंडरी दुसरा तोच करंट काय होतो, या फील्ड मधून फ्लो होतो. आता सुरुवात करूया आपण पहिल्या कंडिशनला. इथं आपण आपला रॉड घेतला, तर काय होणार आहे, हा R1, R2, हा R1, R2, R3, R4, R5 हे सगळे रेजिस्टन्स एकमेकाला काय होतील, ऍड होतील, आणि हे सगळे ऍड झाल्यानंतर रेजिस्टन्स कमी बनेल का जास्त बनेल? व्हॉट विल बी द व्हॅल्यू? विल इट बी मॅक्झिमम और विल इट बी मिनिमम? कशी बनेल सांगा, कमी बनेल, मॅक्झिमम, राईट? So if the current is maximum, as we have the equation, V is equal to IA is equal to V divided by RA plus R external. So R external ची व्हॅल्यू कशी झाली आहे, मॅक्झिमम, म्हणजे टोटल रेजिस्टन्स डाऊन डिनॉमिनेटर साइडला काय झाला, मॅक्झिमम, म्हणजे करंट काय होईल तुमचा, एकदम लेस होईल की नाही? बोला.
होय सर.
हा, आता त्याच्यानंतर पुढे जाऊन थोडासा विचार केला तर आपण काय लक्षात घेऊ शकतो, की मी पुढच्या इथं आता काय होतंय, की माझ्या ह्या कॉइलने याला हँडल करून ठेवलाय. आता हा हँडल मी काय करतोय की पुढच्या नॉबला घेऊन गेलो 2 नंबरला. ठीक आहे, आता काय होईल मग माझा एक रेजिस्टन्स सर्किट मधून निघून गेला की नाही बघा, कारण इथून माझा करंट कसा फ्लो होणार आहे, ह्या रॉड मधून हा करंट इथे येईल आणि इथून इकडे जाईल. इकडे येणार आहे का पाठीमागं ओपन झाल्यावरती? नाही येणार. म्हणजे माझा R1 रेजिस्टन्स इलिमिनेट होतोय की नाही? जर R1 इलिमिनेट झाला तर माझा टोटल इक्विव्हॅलेंट एक्सटर्नल रेजिस्टन्स कमी होईल का जास्त होईल सांगा?
कमी होईल सर.
रेजिस्टन्स कमी होईल. व्हेरी गुड. रेजिस्टन्स कमी झाला म्हणजे टोटल जो डिनॉमिनेटरला आहे तो हळूहळू थोडासा काय होईल, कमी होईल. हा थोडा जरी कमी झाला तरी माझा आर्मेचर करंट काय होणार आहे, वाढणार आहे. आणि जर का हा वाढला तर माझा काय होणार आहे, मोटरचं स्पीड हळूहळू वाढायला लागणार आहे. तसंच मी काय करणार आहे, तिसऱ्या नोट राऊंडला घेणार आहे, तसंच चौथ्या ह्याला घेणार आहे, तसंच पाचव्याला घेणार आहे आणि तसंच 6व्या ठिकाणी घेणार आहे. असं करत करत मी माझे सगळे रेजिस्टन्स एका लेवलला गेल्यावरती काय करणार आहे, इलिमिनेट करणार आहे आणि त्यावेळेस माझी मोटर ही रेटेड स्पीडला पळत असणार आहे. ठीक आहे. आता इथं आपल्याला बघायचं आहे की या कॉइल्सची कामं काय आहेत, या कॉइल्सची कामं काय. तर आता जसं सांगितलं मी की याच्यातून जेव्हा करंट फ्लो होतो तेव्हा ही कॉइल काय करते, याला होल्ड करून ठेवते. पण जर सपोज एखादा फॉल्ट झाला आणि या रॉड मधून करंट फ्लो झाला नाही तर काय होणार आहे, तो या कॉइल मध्ये करंट पाठवणार नाही. त्यामुळे ही कॉइल डिमॅग्नेटाइज होणार आणि ती कॉइल काय करेल, इथला या हँडलला सोडून देईल. ह्या हँडलला सोडून दिलं की काय होणार आहे, तो परत ऍज इट इज ऑफ पोझिशनला येऊन थांबणार आहे, म्हणजे मोटर बंद पडेल. दुसरी गोष्ट काय होते की इथली जी माझी ही कॉइल आहे ओव्हरलोड कॉइल, या कॉइल मधून करंट हा एका लिमिट मधून जातो. जर त्या लिमिटच्या वरती करंट गेला तर ती काय होते की इथं मॅग्नेटायझम तयार होतं. इथं मॅग्नेटिझम तयार झालं की हा जो खालचा एक लेव्हर असतो, हँडल असतो, या हँडलला ते काय करते, मॅग्नेटिझम मुळे याच्याकडे इथं अट्रॅक्ट करून घेते. ह्याला जर इथं वरती अट्रॅक्ट करून घेतलं तर हे काय करते, ह्याचे जे दोन हे जे नॉब असतात, हे नॉब ह्या दोनला काय होतात, टच होतात. या दोन्हीला टच झाले की काय झालं की ह्या दोन वायर शॉर्ट होतात. त्या दोन वायर शॉर्ट झाल्या की तुमचा इथला जो सप्लाय येतोय तो काय होणार आहे, शॉर्ट होणार आहे आणि इथं तुम्हाला या कॉइलच्या अक्रॉस झिरो करंट मिळणार आहे. आणि जेव्हा का हा करंट इथे झिरो भेटेल त्यावेळेस तुमचा तो काय करणार आहे, डिमॅग्नेटाइज होऊन या हँडलला रिलीज करणार आहे. म्हणजे तुम्हाला ऍट द एंड तुमचा जो काही नॉब असेल तो कुठे जाणार आहे, झिरो वरती किंवा ऑफ पोझिशन वरती जाणार आहे. येते लक्षात? सो दॅट इज द सिम्पल फंडामेंटल. ओके, सो या एक्सपेरिमेंट मध्ये कोणाला काही अडचण? Is there anyone who have doubt in these experiments? बोला पटपट पटपट पटपट. Any doubt? Okay, response from no response from your side, that means I will understand, I will consider that you have no doubt. Okay, if you are shying to ask then you can just जर क्वेश्चन करत नसाल तर याचा अर्थ काय समजायचा, समजलं की समजायचं की समजलं नाही म्हणून समजायचं? समजलंय सगळ्यांना?
होय सर.
ओके, फाईन. So just a minute. Okay, is it visible?
Yes.
Just a minute. Okay, whether my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Thank you. So now we are moving towards the next experiment. So recently we had completed our experiment number 3. Now we will move towards the experiment number 6. Okay, that is again also related to the starters, but here the different case, that is the study of starters used for the three-phase induction motor. Right now we had seen about the DC motor, right? Now we will see the about induction motor. So what is meant by induction? Induction means, here I will tell you, suppose again say, have you seen the induction segडी? प्रत्येकाने इंडक्शन मशीन बघितलेले आहे का? इंडक्शन सेगडी बघितलेले आहे का?
होय सर.
हा, कशी असते ती? तर इथं खाली असं काहीतरी एक अशी प्लेट असते, याच्यावरती तुम्ही असं एक पातेलं ठेवता, बरोबर बरोबर. तर आता ही कशी वर्क होते त्याच्यानुसार इंडक्शन मोटर वर्क होते. सांगतो कसं असतं पहा. सो व्हॉट वी विल डू, वी विल गिव्ह जस्ट सप्लाय टू धिस वन, राईट. सो व्हॉट हॅपन्स ऍट दॅट टाइम, इट विल स्टार्ट टू हीट. ओके, हे गरम होते आणि हे गरम झाल्यानंतर ते काय करते, त्याच्या शेजारच्या एक कंडक्टर जो असतो एलिमेंट असतो त्याला काय करते, गरम करते, बरोबर. एक्झॅक्टली बरोबर की नाही?
होय सर.
हा, तर आता बघा दुसरी केस दाखवतो मी तुम्हाला की सपोज माझ्याकडे इथे काय आहे, एक असा कंडक्टर आहे. ओके, आणि इथे एक माझ्याकडे दुसरा कंडक्टर आहे. आता मी काय केलेलं आहे की माझ्या या कंडक्टरला मी एक सप्लाय दिलेला आहे. तर काय करेल हा कंडक्टर, याच्यामधून एक अशी फील्ड तयार होईल, याच्या साईडला एक फील्ड तयार होईल, बरोबर. आणि जेव्हा याच्या साईडला अशी फील्ड तयार होईल तेव्हा तो हळूहळू काय होईल, हेच फील्ड तो काय करेल, याच्यावरती अप्लाय करेल, बरोबर. म्हणजे याच्यावरती तो ट्राय करेल की याच्यावरती पण ती फील्ड अप्लाय झाली पाहिजे. आणि जेव्हा मी इथून दोन कंडक्टर टाकून जर मी इथं मेजर केलं व्होल्टेज, तर मला इथं काय मिळतं, काहीतरी व्होल्टेज मिळतं, बरोबर. तर म्हणजे याला काय म्हणायचं, इंडक्शन प्रिन्सिपल. याला म्हणायचं इंडक्शन प्रिन्सिपल. ओके, सो दॅट इंडक्शन प्रिन्सिपल इज हिअर टू वर्किंग ऑफ द थ्री फेज इंडक्शन मोटर. सो नाउ what we will do, we will see just only the induction motors, whatever the starters are used. So now again, why starters are necessary? So when they will give the supply to the induction motor, that time what happens, that time I will explain here. Okay, fine. So whenever, if suppose this is the induction motor, this is an induction motor. Okay, and now we will consider that induction motor we are giving some of supply. Okay, so we will give some supply to the induction motor. So this is the one phase, this is the second phase, and this is the third phase. So what we are doing, we are giving a supply. So when we gave the supply, at that time what happened, at that time there is a field, there is a rotating magnetic field will set up. इथं काय होते, एक रोटेटिंग मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड तयार होते. इथं एक रोटेटिंग मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड तयार होते. आता ही जी रोटेटिंग मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड असते त्याच्यामध्ये जेव्हा आपण एक रोटर ठेवतो, इथं जर आपण एक असा रोटर ठेवला तर काय होतं, तर ही रोटेटिंग मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड काय करते, हळूहळू त्या रोटरला पण काय करते, रोटेट करते, हळूहळू रोटेट करते, म्हणजे फोर्स एक्सपिरियन्स करते. म्हणजे काय, तर आपल्याला थ्री फेज इंडक्शन मोटरला स्टार्ट करण्यासाठी एक फील्ड तयार करावी लागते. म्हणजे दिस इज नॉट अ सेल्फ स्टार्टिंग मोटर, this is not a self-starting motor, not a self-starting motor. Okay, we need to give some boosting to this motor, then only they can run. Okay, so now whenever we will give some voltage, at that time after our motor start to rotate. And now suppose at the time of starter, now second thing, आता ही जी तुमची whatever the rotating magnetic field is there, this rotating magnetic field, that is rotating at a speed, that speed is known as a synchronous speed. That speed is known as a synchronous speed. Okay, and that is denoted by ns. That is denoted by ns. काय लक्षात आलं तर तुमची जी ही मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड रोटेट होत आहे ती एका स्पीडने रोटेट होते आणि त्या स्पीडला काय नाव असेल त्याला आपण म्हणतो ns. दॅट इज रोटेटिंग मॅग्नेटिक फील्डचं स्पीड म्हणजेच सिंक्रोनस स्पीड. एनी डाऊट टिल हिअर? एनीवन?
नो सर.
Fine. Then the speed of rotation of this rotor. आता आपण speed of rotation of rotating magnetic field बघितलं, that is ns. But the speed of rotation of this rotor, that is known as a rotor speed, that is denoted by n. That is denoted by n. So keep in mind, synchronous speed is always greater than the ns. Synchronous speed is always greater than the n. Okay. सो रोटरचं जे स्पीड असतं ते कधीच तुमच्या सिंक्रोनस स्पीडच्या वरती जाऊ शकत नाही. ओके, हे लक्षात ठेवायचं. सो नाव टू कॉन्सेप्ट वी हॅड हिअर, ns and n. ओके, नाव we'll come to the next concept, that is about the sleep. That is about the sleep. What is mean by sleep? Sleep is denoted by s, and that sleep is nothing but what? It is the difference between ns and n. It is the difference between ns and n with respect to ns. With respect to ns. So that is called as a sleep. So this sleep is always in between 0 to 2, 0 to 1. It is always in between 0 to 1. Okay. So however, that sleep is equal to 1. That means your rotor speed will be 0. If that speed is equal to 0, that means your rotor speed is equal to ns. That means n is equal to ns. At that point your sleep is 0. But if your n is equal to 0, then our speed will that your sleep will be 1. लक्षात येते का पहा, जेव्हा तुमचं रोटरचं स्पीड मॅक्झिमम असेल तेव्हा तुमचं स्लीप कमी असते. जेव्हा तुमच्या रोटरचं स्पीड 0 असेल तेव्हा तुमची स्लीप ही मॅक्झिमम असते. सो whenever we will start the motor, आता मला सांगा, जेव्हा मोटर स्टार्ट होईल तेव्हा आपल्या रोटरचं स्पीड 0 असणार आहे का मॅक्झिमम असणार आहे? सांगा पाहू. स्टार्ट होण्याच्या अगोदर मोटरचं स्पीड काय असणार आहे? 0 असणार आहे, बरोबर? म्हणजे स्लीप किती असणार सांगा पाहू. टाका इथं 0 टाकला मी, काय येईल? ns by ns, दॅट इज इक्वल टू 1. स्लीप किती आली? 1 आली की नाही? म्हणजे काय अर्थ याचा की at the time of starting our sleep is equal to 1. That is why our starting current is very very maximum, or we can say starting current is very very high. Okay, so now in this case, in this scenario, what we have to do? So we have to control this current. We have to control this current. How we can control this current? How we can control? So to control this current we need a starters. So what is the function of starter? So first function of starter is to limit the starting current. What is the first? To limit the starting current. Okay, so what is that? To limit the starting current is the first function of the it is the first function of starter. Then what is the second? Second is to second is that to provide overload and under voltage protection. So that is another function, that is to provide the overload as well as protection to the under voltage protection to the induction motor. So that is why starter is needed. Okay, Then we will go for the various types of starter. So what are these types of starter are there? So this type of starters is, this type of starters is nothing but what? First I will tell you, that is stator resistance starter. That is stator resistance starter. Okay. So this stator resistance starter means what? By its word you can understand, by its word you can understand the resistance which is connected in a series with the stator winding. Now you can see in the figure, here in figure you can see, here in figure you can see that figure here. Is it visible everyone? That figure is visible. Left hand side to you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now here you can see the three-phase supply RYB is given. So there are three resistances. That is the stator side resistances. What it will does? It is added in series with the stator winding. So what happens? As I told you, we are giving the supply to the stator winding. So if resistance is there, then our current will increase or decrease. If resistance is there, if we increase the resistance, then will it increase or decrease?
Decrease.
It will decrease, right? Right or wrong?
Yes.
Uh, So just a second. Okay, so that will reduce the current. So that is why it is used. But in case of the large scale motors, due to the use of the stator side resistances, there may be a huge power dissipation in form of heat. So that may cause more losses. So that is why it is not wide decision to use stator resistance starter. Similarly, the second one is there, that is the auto transformer starter. So how this auto transformer starter will works? So you can see here in auto transformer starter, that starter is suitable for the star as well as delta connected motor. So what is that star delta connected motor? I will show you next. But in that method, what happens? That method starting current has to be limited with the help of three-phase auto transformer. So what it will does? So that three-phase auto transformer, you can see here that auto transformer, you will reduce the stator voltage, whatever the applied voltage, and that auto transformer having multiple numbers of taps also. So due to that tapping, it can change the voltage. Okay, so once the voltage can be changed, so your whenever the voltage can be changed, at that time you can see your current will be changed, and that starter is always connected to one particular tapping of the auto transformer. So every time when that handle we will place, here you can see here is one handle, here is one handle, that handle we can change. So once we will change, then one tapping will added, another time if we will change, then it the another will come. Okay, so so that is the simple thing, that in auto transformer starter, only once we will changing the hand tappings by using the handle, then it will change the supply voltage, and due to that your current will get changed. Okay, then your next the theory part is given in that, so you can write it in your write up. Next is a star delta starter. So a brief explanation about this we will discuss. Star means what? The star means, here I will show you the three windings where a second end of every winding is connected together, that is called as a star. The delta is nothing but what? The one end of winding, suppose this is the A, B, C, so one end of the winding is connected to the another winding's starting point. So again this winding's end point is connected here. So another this winding's end point is connected to here. So that means the end point of the every winding is connected to the starting point of another winding. Okay, so uh, that is all about the star delta starter. So in star delta, what happens in star delta starter? Our first stator winding is connected in star, and then it can be converted into delta. So first of all, whenever our star connection is there, at that time this voltage can be uh, so that can be reduced by the 1 divided by root 3. So whatever the voltage will be there, that can be reduced by 1 by root 3. Okay, so if the voltage can be reduced by root 3, that means voltage is going to reduce. So again same concept, as we see, the voltage get reduced, that means your current will get reduced, and once the current will get reduced, your motor will start at a normal voltage, and after that we can say that motor will run its a normal speed, then the total connection will be converted to the delta. Okay, and the next, that is the, I think, last one, that is the rotor resistance. Okay, sorry, second last starter is, that is the rotor resistance. So here again the simple thing, the rotor resistance starter means what? Similarly the three-phase supply is given to the stator, but as first we had seen the stator resistance starter, what it has done in stator resistance starter, we had seen that resistances is connected in series with the stator winding. But here, in case of the rotor resistance starter, the resistances are connected in series with in a series with the in a series with the rotor circuitry. Now here you can see the three this kind of rotor resistance starters can be only applicable for the slip ring induction motor. So there is a type of induction motor which is slip ring induction motor. Okay, so in that case you can see this is again a very rare type of starter which is used in industry. The mostly preferable starters used in industries is a auto transformer starter and a star delta starter. So here in that starter, the three terminals from the rotor has been taken out, and every terminal of rotor is connected in series with the separate resistances. Okay, so that resistance is having again spot of 1, 2, 3, 4. That means you can change the resistance value here always. So whenever you will change the value here, at that time you can see, or you could see, that the value of rotor current will change, and the once rotor current value will be changed, then your motor speed will be normally controlled. Then this is the last starter, which is known as a direct online starter, or we can say DOL starter. Okay, so now how it works. So here you can see the DOL starter. So in that starter, again three-phase supply is given, and there is a phases connected, fuses connected. Fuses is connected for the protection purpose. Okay, so for the purpose, protection purpose, it is connected. Then we could see in the direct online starter, the direct online means we can say devolved starter also. Okay, so in the devolved starter, whenever the motor is connected to the starter across the full supply voltage, म्हणजे तुमची जी काही टोटल सप्लाय व्होल्टेज आहे त्याच्या अक्रॉस तुमचा काय केला जातो, हा स्टार्टर कनेक्ट, मोटर कनेक्ट केली जाते. आणि whenever that connections are like as this connect motor is connectedly directly to the supply, that is why it is known as a direct online starter. So it has one contactor here, you can see. Yeah, here is a one contactor, you can see, that is called as a under voltage relay coil. So that is the contactor. So whenever we will start and stop buttons, whenever we place the button, so if suppose I'll place the button of start, if suppose this button will be pressed, that start. So once that start button has been pressed, then what happened, then the contactor coil, this coil will get energized. Whenever I will place that button, then this coil will get energized, and once this coil will get energized, then that M1, M2, M3, all terminals will get shorted to line, shorted to this line, and the that time the spring will allow to remains in a connected with the RYB phases, and at that time the supply will be appears across the your induction motor. Okay, so second thing, if we press the stop button, here is a stop button. If suppose we press the stop button, then what happens? Then if we press the stop button, that time this OLLC, that means overload relay coil, that will release the de-energize. Okay, that will de-energize, and once that will de-energizes, then then it can leave the, this plunger, whatever the plunges is there, and then this M1, M2, M3 will be reopen, or we can say that will be a open circuited. Okay, so now if suppose there is under voltage, that means what, the voltage is below the rated voltage. So what happens that time? At that time, this coil will get de-energized because of less voltage, and due to that, this de-energization, your motor will get disconnected from the supply. Then what happens about overload, overload? That time also here is one overload coil. So this OLRC is connected for the overload protection for the motor. So whenever the motor, if motor is come to the over, that is means by, if the motor is running on above the rated voltage, then what happens above the rated voltage, that OLRC coil will get energized. Once this coil will get energized, at that time what happens, this will open this S4, this will open this switch S4. So once this S4 switch will be open, that time the circuit will become open, and then automatically motor will be disconnected from the supply. So the major advantages of this method is nothing but what, the direct online starting is a very simple and very cheap method. The starting current may be as large as 10 times to the full load current, and the starting torque shall be equal to the full load torque. So this kind of starter can be easily controlled up to the 5 to 10 HP motors. Okay, so this is all about the starters which are used in case of the three-phase induction motor. Okay, so now all are requested to just take your attendance into the chat box, mark your attendance into chat box. So is there any doubt? Do not post repeated messages. Okay, okay, those who have marked attendance can leave the class. For now, we will stop here. On your group, I am sharing one file, two files actually. Okay, check a WhatsApp group whether you got the practical number 3. Just reply me here. Okay, practical number 3 and practical number 6 I had posted into the group. Okay, so you can write it down from there. Okay, rest of all, just mark your attendance. Mark your attendance and leave the class.